Good afternoon. It's a glorious afternoon actually. We're down at Bala. We've come to collect Lulu and take her to Conwy today. So let's have a look. There she is. No sign of any seagulls, hopefully. Yeah, look at that. Those bird scarer system that I've made last week seems to be doing the job. Yeah, they look very sort of flashy and shiny, don't they? Someone else has done one there as well, look. Ukraine flag flying proudly there. We're going to be down here this afternoon. We're going to get a few jobs done on Lulu that we still need to do before we can go on the sea. Then I'm going to probably have some dinner here. Pop to the chippy maybe. We'll see how we feel. And then we're going to get Lulu out and we're going to go take her to Conwy, and we're going to spend the night in Conwy because we've got an early start tomorrow for high tide. So that's what we're going to do. Look at Mochyn, bloody hell, we need to sort that. Oh, it's because we've had so much rain and I've not made new ties for the cover. So yeah, I need to empty that now quickly. See if we can get rid of it before it goes a bit funky. He says, I think that's already gone funky. I don't want to damage the cover. So maybe we need to do something about that, get it tied up or something. This cover's just split, just tightening it up. Good grief, we've had no luck with Mochyn, have we, this year? Right. It's not too difficult to manhandle this trolley, trailer shall I say, when the boat's not on it. When the boat's on it, obviously it's a different matter. I haven't got motor with me, so I paddled out. Absolutely not a problem paddling out, but I used the paddle to get her back in, and we ended up about 30 metres back. Listen, I knew this was a lee shore. I knew that we weren't going to end up the opposite side. I knew we were coming to the shore here. It'd just be a short walk. This boat is still quite easy to handle as long as you keep her in her depth. She doesn't run aground severely. You can pull her around, she's great. But just goes to show, this isn't particularly a strong breeze, but it took us right down there, and with a paddle, I could literally, we were about 10 metres back before I even started paddling, and then what I tried to do was sort of ferry glide us in, which I kind of did fairly well, but I did have to put some effort in to do that, so just a little lesson to learn. Just a small tiny sign of bird poo here, and that is it. So the bird scarers seem to have done the job. They're coming back to here, although maybe we need to get something that flaps around here, because they don't like that, all this paraphernalia. Maybe we need to get something just to flap about there, and that'll be job done. It's really lovely and warm. I've got my Crocs on. It's fine. When I got out a little bit early to just make sure I didn't let the boat run aground. It was a little bit cold there, but here in the shallows, water's quite warm now. Brilliant. I got a few little special buys. Go through all the little jobs first, I think. First of all, I've got my clips to try. We'll try those in a minute. I bought some more of this rope. This is floating rope, and I got 30 metres. Comes with a little cheap shackle. It works, and it's just really good rope. You might see it all over the boat. It's cheap rope, so you don't mind it breaking or losing it. And I just like to have 30 metres of rope on the boat. No good for anchoring though, because it's kind of floats on the surface, but that's something that I got. Then I got this. We're not going to fit it today. We may see if we can run it off the battery just quickly. It's a tiny little anchor stroke, just motoring light, and I plan to either put that on the mizzen or get some kind of stick that will fit aft of the boat, if that's where you're allowed to have it. But I think it'd be really easy to run a line up the mizzen when you need it, and then we can just use reusable zip ties just to tie the line off. So if we have time today, I might have a little play with that. It's properly rated, IP rated, and it also is rated for 2 to 3 miles of visibility, all-round visibility. So it's a proper nautical light. Got it off Amazon. I think it was £18. So I forgot I bought it actually. I bought it quite a while ago. And then the other thing I've got is this bucket. So this bucket is going to hopefully go here. So let's see if we can just make a little gap here, but let's see. Yeah, it's definitely going to fit there. It's also collapsible, so it all collapses up, which is cool. And this bucket is for all my little bits and bobs, like these velcro straps and lines, things like that I need for mooring and whatnot. And they're all going to go in here and stay out of the, there you go, elastic things, and stay out of the anchor bucket. Because the anchor bucket, I try and pull my anchor line out, and all I get out is all this rubbish. So I've got this extra little bucket that will sit down here now, and I can tidy it away quite quickly if I don't need it as well. So that's that's up for top 10 buy of the year so far, I think, that bucket. It looks brilliant. I'm going to take that camping as well, I think, with me. So let's give, I don't know what version of these we're on now. I think we must be on anchor mark at least 5. What I've realised is, because I've not got a bolt long enough, I don't think this one's going to do up. Let's have a little look. It goes that way. There we go. So that's on. It's not on quite as perhaps tight as I want it to be. I have noticed one thing immediately. They do tend to wobble a little bit. That would be remedied if we made these fatter. It would probably stop that. They are a little bit slim at the moment, but obviously the fatter they are, the more plastic they take, and while we're in the development phase we don't want to do that. But the main thing is that it's not coming off there. So let me get a fender now. Most of my fenders have sticker line, but I think it will go through. Will it go through? Okay, no. But look, you can see the fenders go there on those. That kind of works. Don't want to break the piece of plastic, but if it was that clip, you could see that would work, especially having it at the top. So there for the fenders to keep these up. We could even have this on the inside, couldn't we? Actually. So it kind of works, doesn't it? And then this is for like tent clip. So, you know, you could either run a line through that and then clip the tent over the line, or just clip the tent into these full stop. Now, the big test is, you know, whether that will break. So that was a lot of force, but just damaged the wood slightly there. You can see what's happened. This layer here where it's printed has come away. So that was quite good. You know, if I was pulling from here, I don't think that would have happened. The other thing I've noticed is this clamp here is nowhere near the edge there. So that needs adjusting as well. But this was designed to break, by the way. Makes it easy to get off. This one, I don't think this one will break as easily because of the force. So you could actually have this smaller one and have the tent connected to this here. So I'm going to continue with these. We're going to do clamp mark 6, I think it'll be. And that little story will continue. this is going to go here. So it's kind of wedged up here. It fits quite nicely. All I'm going to do is, as I explained in my last video, is we just need to strap this to the deck. So originally I was going to drill holes into these, into the deck as normal. However, when you look at this side, you will see that, and they even go under like that. You will see, if I can really carefully, it's got a bit of petrol in so I can't lift it, you'll see that they're not as close to the edge as I thought, actually, to be frank. That's actually quite welcome. But what I think I'm going to try and do is I'm going to glue those in. I'm going to use the Gorilla Glue, which I've used Gorilla Glue for years. I love it. But this is the super extreme stuff. It's what I've actually, oh, that's varnish that's spilt, but it's actually what I stuck these blocks on here with. And they're still, I mean, that's the, when you see them moving, that's actually the deck moving. So, until further notice, I think the No More Nails glue is probably going to be quite good. I think having them like there, so I'm going to do that. That's the first one. Oh, let's see. I'm going to try and make a little mark. Actually, I'm going to do it like that. There you go, that's probably what we want. And then we can pull it up without too much hassle. So let's do that one. I think the best thing to do is put it on here. And then what we'll do, we'll then put a little bit, oh gosh, don't want to do that, get off. We'll then want to put a little bit through the holes. And this is either going to be an amazing, best idea I've ever had, or it's going to be a complete failure. So, there we go. Pop that down like that. There we go. And then what I'm going to do is into the hole. Put a little bit in the hole like that. So, it's almost got like a little screw in there. So that's one. There we go. And then carefully, that's it. There we go. That one's just moved slightly. There we go, that's it. There we go. We'll leave those to set. We'll come back in an hour or so. I think it kind of sets in an hour. But it cures, cures over 12 hours. It's quite fast curing though, this. I need to just go and get some, I've got some alcohol, I think, lecithin, just to rub that off as well. Right, just going to remove these screws. To be honest with you, those screws are paltry, aren't they? I need to replace those for better ones. I'm going to take the one up here out as well. This is for the bird scaring. Possibly tent. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip these in varnish to seal that up before we lose out. So I'm just going to go and find some of these screws and then I'll be straight back. Okay, here goes. So you can just dip them in, I guess. I think that's what a lot of people do, but I prefer to brush it off because it's just like a silly cheap brush. So get your screws, put them through, give them a little brush. Oh, probably a little bit too much on that one. We don't want it dripping off, so we'll transfer a bit on this one. And it kind of bunches up as you screw it in anyway. So let's get those screwed back in quickly. Okay, let's do the top one. Had some really good advice off a friend of mine, and he said a couple of things you definitely need to have on board is a knife, and I've got my new knife. I've got to go and get it from the van though. And he said also a good screwdriver. So he said take a 15mm and a 17mm screwdriver. They're super useful. He said the most important thing is, if you look at the rudder stock there, it says spanners that will get this off. So there we go. That one fits that one, and then this one fits this one if you need to. The reason for that is if you bend your rudder or completely damage your rudder so you can't lift it out the boat, you can then at least drop it through the bottom this way, and then use the motor to sort of get you about. So those ones are going in. So this is one of the things I've been most excited about, really, is getting this this Jetboil done. Don't ask me why, I just think it's such a cool idea. So there we go, it's going to sit here like this, and this is going to go, well, it could go on the top, couldn't it? But that'd be silly. This is going to go here like this. Now, if we put it in the right spot, you know, it could take the place of my little phone that goes here, but I don't think it will, because this won't tilt, and I'm not sure. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure this is nicely on the edge, and then this will click in there. So the first thing we need to do is check screw lengths for there. Yeah, they're bang on. So I'm going to try. So I think we're going to have to take this off. I haven't taken this off since I put it on. Oh, it's got like a sticky pad on it, this has. It comes off, but a little coercion. There we go. We'll move that lower down, maybe here or here maybe. And then this, whoop, don't want to lose the screws. It's going to go, let's just make sure we get the right. So it's going to go about there. There we go, that's nice. Double check that still fits. Yep. Good. Let's get, now that's nice and firm, we can get the other screws in a bit easier. Do this on for good measure. There we go. That's nice. And there it is. Only time will tell. So if you want a little cup of coffee or whatever it may be, there it is. Let's give it a test. Now, we'll have the gas canister underneath it, of course, but we can at least give it a little test. So this is sideways. Oh, okay, we're on the deck. I can't, but you'll see that's sideways, and then we've got that way. So I've got that there. I think I'd rather have it there and tilted up slightly away from the compass. And then I probably could use the cooker there, but I can take it away, you know, quite easily when I want to use the cooker. And then let's just see one last combination. Should we see if we can get this in there? And actually that fits in there quite nicely. Not sure if this is going to hold it, but it seems to hold it. You know, so that's cool. So we've got some options. Only one way to find out if these will work is to go and try it, isn't it, really? So we know this is the connector that goes into the back of the solar panel, and we broke it yesterday, last week. You can see this just broke the barrel in here, so we're going to chop this off. However, the other thing was we've got way too much cable on this, so I need to pull out and just trim this cable. Let's just double check. It only really needs to come out to here, and this is a bit extra, so I'm gonna have to go and check if it's not caught in the back. You can see the positive goes to the red, but here the red turns black. So the positive is actually black there. It's probably not going to pass any ISO tests. And there we go. That's charging. Nice bright red light just there. I'm going to let that solar panel charge the battery up for a little bit. Why waste this beautiful sun? I got a couple of these spare, and I'm going to keep these two on the boat just in case, you know, we get a problem with those connectors. I've also actually got some sheathing on the boat as well if we need it. So yeah, we can always do little repairs if we need to. I forgot, we've got one last little job, which was to replace the velcro on the solar panel here. So we've got these two pads which are fine. These two have just been the subject of, I think, a little bit too much. Actually, is that one okay? No, a little bit too much bird crap going on here. So I'm going to make some new pads to go here. These pads are probably going to benefit from. Oh well, I'm cutting through to. I didn't realise I had both sides here, but these pads are probably going to benefit from being a little bit bigger than here, hopefully, just to help us seat the solar panel fine. They've worked really well, these pads. It's just this side with the birds, and I had to pull it off, and I pulled it off and I got a little bit of water underneath them, I think. So we'll just let this all dry and then we'll stick that down. The heat really helps everything cure. I remember the last time I was doing this, we were in the winter, weren't we? There we go. Oop. And it was barely warm enough not to be wearing gloves, and just nothing cures in that time. Right, that's that done. These cleats are looking good. They're starting to really go off now, so I'm happy with those. I've got the boat ready. We'll get the Lecky outboard on because we're not going to row or paddle over there today, and we better go because it's 4:30, so we need to really think about going.